My name is Gordon Miller. The name of my company is Outer Cape Ocean Rescue. I do lifeguard training, particularly for private beach clubs and country clubs that have lifeguards seasonally. I also train national park lifeguards. I've done that in the past. I've done towns, like the town of Nantucket was one of my clients for several years. So yeah, it tends to be a seasonal operation. Starts around this time in May and goes through early July. That's when lifeguards are coming to their duties on their beach clubs. They're getting out of school, the summer's starting. And I started this business about 12 years ago, and I was requested to go and help out a fellow national park in Trunk Bay, which is in the Virgin Islands, the American Virgin Islands. And I went over there and did some training for a park. At the next summer, the town of Nantucket called and asked, could I come over and help them? I went over and helped them. And at that point, I decided I needed to, because they didn't know, there was no way to pay me. And I didn't have, I had to start a company so I could get legally paid and everybody would feel comfortable about the operation. And so that's how the business started. I do mostly lifeguard training, but I do CPR, AED, first aid training. I do consulting. I have a couple of clients that I just work with their whole program for the whole summer. I work for golf clubs. I do their CPR training and AED training for their staff. That part of my business is constantly expanding. I'm starting to work with a few restaurants. I've actually done CPR, AED, first aid training at a couple of churches. It's great to have someone on staff who knows what to do. I've been a lifeguard since I was 16 years old. Then I moved to working for the National Park Service when I was in college. And first I started at Acadia National Park up in Bar Harbor, Maine. That was my first national park. The next year I went out to Lake Mead. Then I came here my third year and I've never left here. Non-supervisory lifeguard for 5 years. And I became the head guard at Race Point Beach for 10 years. Then after that I became the district supervisor for 3 beaches up here. Head of the Meadow, Race Point, and here in Herring Cove. And that's the job I have now. I grew up in a business. My dad ran a little grocery store back in my hometown of Bolivar, Tennessee. And so I grew up working in a small business. We still own a funeral home in my hometown, and my older brother runs that. So I was always around businesses. So I kind of understood, that, there's banking, there's paying taxes and regulations and all that sort of thing. My struggles were, I operate on a really tight margin, and the $5,000 grant from Amplify made a huge difference in my business last year. It gave me an opportunity to do some training that I've been putting off, because I had to travel to Florida for part of that and stay there for a week, and Amplify's that additional funding just made that all possible. And so now I'm able to offer a wider range of trainings for my clients. And that was really incredible. That was like from out of nowhere. I came in and it was like, it's like a miracle happened to me. Yeah. Mistakes were paperwork, steeping up with my paperwork, and something like I said, when I first started, I wasn't really a business. So I kind of knew to keep records, because what happens, like if you train a person like a lifeguard and there's an incident at their workplace, say a drowning or a medical situation, what happens, that place probably will get sued. And so lawyers come in, they want to see everyone's documented training. So if you don't have that at your fingertips, you're in trouble as a trainer. So that is something I keep right now. I keep meticulous records of every person I trained, what they did, the date, the time. My grand plan is to keep expanding my business and to probably hire 1 or 2 people, like for the season, like the summer season, like part-time or not full-time, so that I could do they would do a lot of the training. Right now I do almost all the training myself. I'll have people come and help me, but I do most of it myself. I would say be aware that, it's difficult out there. It could be daunting, but if you have a good business plan, you have an idea, like if your services or what you're producing is really needed, then understand it may go, things may not go well at the beginning, but just stick with it. And over time, I think you'll probably be successful. Hire me. But no, I get quite a lot of support. I do work with towns, clubs, and they do appreciate what I do for them. And I think I get a lot of support from the community. I have a website, Outer Cape Ocean Rescue, and that will get you right there. It will pop right up on you. My email is outercapeoceanrescue@gmail.com.
Look at that.